Happy Saturday. So let's see if we get some screen on the computer here and see who the latest 5x5 champ is. so, okay, waiting for it. There comes my computer. And Nest Peeper is the first one at 5x5. Okay. Robert, Lucky Dame, good. You guys can hear me. All right. So I'm still not technologically illiterate. My brain hasn't completely fried with this week yet, I guess. God. Well, I hope I kept y'all busy this week because between Biden's flip flopping and the Rittenhouse verdict and the riots, which apparently are going on again today, uh, it's been a busy week and lots of news and not a whole lot of actual prepping information, but a lot of stuff that we need to pay attention to because we need to know what and when is coming our direction, I guess, if you will. So, all right, but happy Saturday to everybody. Hello to my moderators, North Shore, Jacob, Robert, Lucky Dame. Glad you guys are all here again. I would ask that each one of you guys do me a favor and shoot me an email this evening. I got something I need to ask each one of you guys. So, moderators, please send me an email. Okay. I want to start with a couple of things here, real quick. First off, and this was sent to me today by Rich Smith, there is supposedly a letter going around addressed to retirees primarily, okay, from the supposed Council for Retirement Security, all right? And I want to tell you this and nix the bullshit coming out of it. It is a letter, and I'm just going to read it to you real quick. It says, "Dear friend, if the Senate doesn't take immediate action to raise the debt ceiling, the federal government will run out of money. Since Congress has spent all the money on the Social Security Trust Fund, there will be no funds to pay Social Security payments if the debt ceiling isn't raised. Call your senators today and demand they vote to immediately raise the debt ceiling before it's too late." Okay, guys, this is the Democrat National Committee pushing this crap. It is not true. Yes, I mean, I love the first sentence. If the Senate doesn't take immediate action to raise the debt ceiling, the federal government will run out of money. Federal government ran out of money decades ago. That's why they're borrowing money, okay? So, yeah, no, has nothing to do with that. Since Congress has spent all the money from the Social Security Trust Fund, hell, they did that in the 1970s, guys. So that's nothing new. There will be no funds to pay the Social Security payments if the debt ceiling isn't raised. Now, if the debt ceiling isn't raised, that could delay some. Could delay some. I want you to understand all three of those words. Because Social Security is not like everything else. Social Security isn't paid for out of income tax. Social Security is withheld out of payroll withholding tax. So they constantly have money coming in. Now, the money they get from the payroll withholding tax isn't enough to meet all the obligations on a weekly basis. But because Social Security payments are staggered, they should be able to keep up. So this letter, if you guys see it in the mail, call this Rita Smith or whatever and tell her she's full of shit. Okay, this is completely a lie. This is trying to scare people into calling their senators and telling them to do something that's not good for the country. Just telling you. All right. Second one, and this is for Deborah Miller. Thank you for the super sticker. It is greatly appreciated. Second one, this is for all of you guys that are in my area, the Knoxville immediate area. One of our family members, TH71, if you guys have seen him, he lives over here in Maynardville. And he has built a bunch of rocket stoves out of 4-inch U.S. steel. and these things are really cool. So if you would like one, please email me and I will get you in touch with him. The reason I'm saying for the Knoxville people only is because this thing weighs about 30 pounds and there's no, the shipping would be insane. So he said, if anybody was interested, that, feel free to share his email with you guys. Obviously, I'm not going to give his email out on the live stream. So if you want to send it to me, I'll connect it to you guys. But he's made all of these things and they look very strong, very sturdy, and perfect for putting a pan on top or whatever it is. Like I said, good. It looks like it's about 1/4 inch steel. So it's going to hold up anything you need. So just wanted to put that one out there, something that one of y'all is doing, and I wanted to share it. So, okay, go into the other thing. If anybody read the description here of the video tonight, or if you heard what I was talking about last Saturday, if you were here with the channel last year, you remember last year we did a holiday food drive for the Union County Food Bank. Okay. Those of you that are been here long enough know I live in a relatively impoverished county. About 19,000 people in this county, and the average income is around 30 grand. Okay, household. Food banks are quite used here, and this year they are probably going to be needed more than before. Last year we raised, I don't remember how much it was. I think it was about $700 for the food bank, and then Mrs. P and I go to the grocery store, and the people at the grocery store still remember us from last year. It's like, when are you coming to do this again? It's like, it's soon. So, matter of fact, we were just there today doing grocery shopping, which was kind of funny because when we were at the store, one of y'all, the guy at the deli counter, I guess the meat counter, recognized me as we were standing there. He says, he looks at me, he goes, "Pinball?" You got to understand, when I'm, in the grocery store, I'm not thinking about this channel. I'm doing normal. And it's like, okay, it's like, yeah. It's, it kind of catches me as a shock every once in a while when people see me. But in regards to the food drive, what we do is Mrs. P and I will go do the shopping, and we get the people from the store on camera, show you guys what we're doing, whole 9 yards, and get over to the food bank. And like last year, we had everybody from the food bank on the video and everything like that. And they were super, super appreciative last year because we were able to put Christmas dinner on a lot of household tables last year, and love to do that again. And then Tuesday, this coming Tuesday on the live stream, what we will do is the other drive that we did, which again, same as last year, where we do the toy drive. And I think last year we had $500-600 or something like that. Mrs. P and I went and filled all the Christmas lists for what they wanted for the toy drive, and I was in tears when we were dropping the toys off because they were so appreciative. So if you see down there in the bottom on the description of the video, if you care to donate to the food drive, that's what we're going to do tonight. Is I ask that you either use the PayPal or the Cash App to send anything for the food drive. The reason I ask for that and not for super chats is because PayPal takes like 1.5%, Cash App takes something similar, and YouTube takes anywhere between 37 and 40% of the super chat money. So we can spend a lot more money on food rather than spending a lot more money padding Google's pockets if we do it that way. Again, I'm asking you guys to do this if you care to. I understand that it's tight for everybody this year. If you have the ability to help, please do. If you don't, please do not feel pressured or anything like that to do anything. I'm not asking that. It's just something that we did last year, like to do again. Mrs. P and I are obviously going to donate, and if you guys care to join into in the name of the entire family, the channel Pinball Family, that's what we're going to do. So, uh, PayPal address is on the bottom, paypal.me/pinball preparedness, or it's cash.app/$ pinball preparedness. They're both down there in the list. And then whatever we raise, and then whatever Mrs. P and I can throw in there too. We will show you what we all get, but I got to get a hold of the food bank and find out what day I can go drop everything off, and then we'll get food and do all that. So, okay, so that's the game plan for that one. Sheila B, I see. Can I mail you a check for the food drive? Unfortunately, no, because I can't cash checks that are made out to Pinball, and in interest of my OPSEC, I'm not real thrilled about giving out my name. So that's for a little bit of my own security as well, because as soon as that gets around, it's like, okay, then instantly everybody can find me, and my OPSEC. Please respect that from me. So, okay. As usual, it is a Saturday night. I'm assuming you guys have a whole lot of questions. I'm assuming we are going to have a whole lot of discussion and on some of these weekly topics. So, what I ask everybody, for those of you guys that are new, please, if you've got a question to ask me, directed to me, please put it in all caps in the chat. Now, I don't have all the answers, never have, never will. Feel free to have conversations amongst yourselves. There's going to be plenty of people in the chat who can answer some questions that I can't. Use everybody's knowledge here. There's almost 1,100 of you guys in here right now. Between all of us, we probably can answer 99.9% of the questions that people have, but I can't. So I can do a lot of them, but not all of them. So if it's directed to me, please put it in all caps. Now, I start from the top. I work my way all the way to the bottom. I did put on slow mode this week. I limited everybody to 30 seconds at the request of my mods, who said it's getting a little crazy in here. So I wanted to kind of give them a break. But as I'm speaking about my mods, guys, we keep this channel PG-13, all right? Family friendly. Okay, your teenagers have heard the language that I occasionally get a little salty with. Your 6-year-old probably doesn't need to be watching me. You guys have seen enough of my videos, you know why. All right, but I will start at the top on the questions, work my way down. If I haven't answered your question in 5 or 10 minutes, please feel free to answer it again or ask it again. If I see it a second time, I'll just skip it. Not a big deal. Nothing's off limits, with the exception of the stuff that Google doesn't allow us to talk about. You guys pretty much know what it is. I think on some of it, it's beating a dead horse anyway. We don't need to talk about our buddy here. Then the other topics that they don't want to discuss. But other than that, we've talked about anything and everything, whether it's current events, whether it's politics, whether it's gardening. Hell, we had one where we were talking about 1980s music. I remember another one we were talking about 1970s TV shows. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Tuesdays and Saturdays are about you guys. This is when you guys get to talk about what you want, and not just have to listen to what I want to talk about. So that being said, let's get into this. I will start at the top here, see what we got, and we'll go from there. So looks like we already have 2 trolls in here. I'm betting that the mods have already whacked them. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, Montana Grizz fans starting right off. The DNC uses fear porn. Ain't that the truth? That's exactly what they're trying to do with that letter, is scare Social Security recipients in there. August Blue, there's an interesting one. Found lots of seeds, some of them heirloom, at Lowe's today. I'm surprised they've even got seeds still out. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we were at Lowe's, but last time we were in there, I mean, all the garden section, everything like that is completely covered in Christmas stuff now. There's nothing left around me. So if you found some, cool. Carolyn L. Dad had something from them similar. I just threw it away. BS. Yep, again on that letter. Okay. Voodoo Queen saying they need to learn to balance a checkbook, period. Yeah. Congress, right. That'll happen. It's like, oh, we have $1. Cool. That means we can spend 100. And then just add a few zeros. Okay. Huts John, Pinball, could you speak up a little? I have Wizard of Oz on TV and I don't want to miss anything. Tell Judy Garland she needs to wait. I'm talking. She can be quiet for a while. Let's see. Treasure Seekers SOJ. If sending out fear tactics, do they believe that the raising of the debt ceiling is in danger? No, this is the thing. The Democrats don't see any problem whatsoever with, I mean, if they could have us $100 trillion in debt, they'd think that was fine. They're going, cool, we can spend more money. You know, this is the problem. Notice how every time there's panic amongst the debt ceiling, the first thing that the DNC always comes, oh my God, Social Security's at risk. Social Security, blah, 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 the Social Security. Okay. It's never food stamps. It's never welfare checks. It's never funding, transgender insect studies in Pakistan. It's always Social Security. And like I said at the top, they assume we're all stupid. Social Security is funded completely differently than all their little pet projects. Okay, so, remember, welfare, food stamps, those are entitlements. Social Security is not an entitlement program. I don't care how much they say it is not an entitlement program. It is you getting your money back. Okay, the people who are collecting food stamps didn't pay into the food stamp fund. The people that are collecting welfare didn't pay into the welfare fund. The people that are collecting Social Security, by and large, most of them paid into Social Security. Okay. Now, I understand that people are on food stamps, and I'm not saying take money away from there or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. What I'm saying is they need to stop trying to threaten the fear porn, as somebody just said, the Social Security recipients. Okay. That's your money. That's not their money. Okay. They've just graciously held it for you for the last 40 or 50 years. Believe that. Diane S., what kind of stoves? I don't understand the question. There's no basis for me to go on there. David Williams, buenas noches, hermano, and mi favorito Patriot Familia. GE Patriot family from the south of the border. There you go. Well, okay. How bad's my Spanish? Well, Mexican accent, I guess. God. Let's see. Nancy B., are you and Mrs. P smoking a turkey for Thanksgiving? I thought about it, except I've got my great-grandmother's stuffing recipe that I adore, and Mrs. P loves too. I mean, obviously, she's only had it for a few years, and I don't want to not have the stuffing because it's like the best part of Thanksgiving turkey to me. So no, I will bake a traditional. Let's see because we're at the store today. So our Thanksgiving will be turkey, stuffing, homemade. Okay. Sweet potatoes with marshmallows, green bean casserole. Our sweet potatoes are green beans. I'm going to make a cherry pie. What else do I have in there? Sweet potatoes, green bean casserole, turkey stuffing, cranberries, and cherry pie. That's it. So yes, this old man gets to do the cooking. So can't ask Mrs. P to cook. It's an American thing. So, and I know what I'm doing. I've been cooking Thanksgiving turkey for 30 years. Okay, let's see. David Williams saying, Mama Kay, Lorna, Robert Winslow, thanks, guys. Yeah, so Mamie Kay and Lorna saw them over at Constantine's live stream. I wanted to see this massive snowstorm, and then I had to go. We had a, as we called it, Friendsgiving today with some of the local people around here, MAG members and stuff like that, and a new neighbor that I've mentioned. So we all kind of got together and just had a little few hours of Friendsgiving. They were still going when I left, so I could come see you guys. But yeah, we were 4 o'clock till Mrs. P and I left just around 8. So that was fun. But that was what we were there. But yeah, I wanted to stick around for Constantine's. I'm hoping they eventually got Olia some food in her, but because she was dying. But yeah, that was nice seeing you guys over there and just fun. I wanted to see the snow, but I only got to see little bits and spits of it. Diane asks, pinball is a movie star. Hell freaking no. Okay. Two reasons why. First, I'm not a liberal, and second off, I know how to handle a gun. Uh, so, Brian B, do you recommend vacuum sealing meat? And if you do, what brand do you recommend? Uh, you can. Uh, I mean, everything we've got, for the meat, I mean, obviously the beef that we got came vacuum sealed because it was from when we got the cow butchered. But other than that, I just freeze my meat in the packaging it comes in from the grocery store or whatever it would be. I know some people may disagree with it and everything like that. Uh, yeah, I mean, vacuum sealing is great, but I don't do it. So, I mean, I can't. We've got a vacuum sealer and it still sits up there in the prep room and it's never been used. I think she got it for me for Christmas a couple of years ago. Got one, just don't use it. Planner Pete, how do I donate to the food bank fund? Down in the description, there are the PayPal address and the Cash App address. That is how I prefer you do it. If you can't do it that way, Super Chat works. But like I said, the reason I'd rather do PayPal or Cash App is because they don't gouge fees like YouTube does. Diana's very nice of you and Mrs. Pinball to do the food drive. Very nice. Guys, I do this. I mean, I've donated, what I've been able to for God knows how many years. I mean, whether it's been food drives, clothing drives, blood drives, whatever it would be. Okay. Because y'all know my story. And there's been times that I was in need of help, and that was how I got it. And I promised myself if there was ever a time where I was able to give back, I would. And so that's, a promise I keep. And the fact that, so many of you guys have, the ability to do so too just makes it even a greater gesture from all of us. And, it makes my heart proud. Again, I'm so proud of this family. You guys have no idea. Just all the good things that we do together between helping each other and whatever it is. Uh, you know, Being part of you guys is one of the highlights of my life. I will say that. So, Obama preps for YouTube is greedy. Really? Yeah. Google? No, not at all. Let's see. Ace Maduro, the hell with the Kardashians. You're the famous one for us preppers. Well, I don't know. My hips might be as wide as Kim's, but not sure. Let's see. Yarn Prepper, if you pay PayPal as a friend and family, PayPal takes nothing, correct? Sheila, you asked about the check. Like I said, I can't do that. And there we go. Shot to the bottom. Back to the top we go. Let's see where we can find. Okay. I see something that's on top. Somebody says something. Pinball does not want that here. We'll get shut down. You'll get kicked. Yeah, if there's anybody. Okay, one thing I forgot to say at the top: no FJB comments and no LGB comments. That's off limits by YouTube. I mean, I've already done jail between all the channel or both channels 6 times this year. I kind of like to stay out of jail for a while. The strike I've got on this channel doesn't expire until December or January. The strike I got on the other channel doesn't expire until mid-December. So yeah, guys, please. I understand it's censorship, but it's their platform, it's their rules, okay? And we all know. All right, I'll just leave it at that. Jack Snow. So because everything is run by communists, we're not allowed to talk about the yup. You are exactly right. Lisa Brazy, what's going on with the coal? All right, so I talked about this a little bit this morning. All right, and we've had, I mean, again, you got to go all the way back to Obama's war on coal, and then, Hillary coming out when her failed campaign saying, we're going to close all the coal mines, everything like that. So a lot of coal mines did close. It's not like you can just open those things up. It's not like somebody goes in and unlocks the door and says, okay, guys, go back and dig coal. All right, there's the problem. So what we have going on right now is because the price of natural gas has gone through the roof. I think you all know that. Somebody sent me a letter that they got today, if I remember correctly, that they live in North Dakota, and their utility said expect their gas price to go up to around $250 this winter. So added $250 in their total winter heat bill because of the cost of natural gas. And remember, natural gas is the primary source that the United States uses for heating and for generating electricity. So that's where everything's going up. Well, like I said in the video the other day, the utility companies can't just eat that loss, all right? A, most of them are publicly traded and need to answer to shareholders. And B, the company doesn't operate profitably, they go out of business. You don't need your electric company going out of business, right? They got to pay those people that work for them, everything like that. So the utility companies are trying to go back to coal to meet the demand, which of course makes Greta Thunberg and all John Kerry and Al Gore and all those morons, furious. But we need coal. Well, there isn't enough because we haven't been digging it and the mines haven't been open. So we only have about 90 days worth of coal in reserve to meet the demand for electricity. After that, we have no choice but to go back to natural gas at the prices it's at, okay? Well, 90 days from now is mid-February. It's still freaking cold in most of the country. So, they're going to have to use some natural gas. And I mean, obviously we have hydroelectric and, whatever we get out of wind and solar and everything, but you got to use everything. Well, the coal companies have said that they've already, on their projections of what they're going to be able to dig for next year and for 2023, they've already sold it all, okay? Coal futures. So the issue we have is there isn't any more. And now we know China is buying up the world reserve of any energy they can find as fast as we can, which the silly part is, I mean, and again, I've told you before about the idiocity in the White House. 46 is selling our oil to China, while at the same time we're buying diesel fuel from Russia. Somebody explain that to me. Okay. But yeah, basically the world is, because of this green energy debacle, the world is short on the natural resources to create the energy that is needed, because too many of them believe this lie that, we can go to solar and wind and that'll solve all our problems. Solar and wind accounts for like 2% of the world's energy, guys. That's about it, okay? But all of a sudden, we're supposed to go from 2% to basically 100% in what, 8 years? Come on. I did the video the other day about how it is completely physically impossible to do it. Yet so many people are like, "Oh, we gotta go green, gotta save the planet." Yeah, okay, it's not possible. Elizabeth, thank you for the super chat. Bamsi Moi, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Austria government declares forced injections unvaccinated will be jailed. Okay, I saw this morning that Austria was going to go 100% government mandate. I have not seen anything about the jailed part. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. I've been incommunicado for the last 5 hours now. Bernie, thank you again for the super chat. But Europe is kind of going crazy now. Remember what I said the other day, too. We are a little different here in the States because we have states as part of a federal government. So there's two-tier system where these other countries don't have it. Europe is run by, if the federal government mandates it, poof, that's it. Okay, they don't have like a Ron DeSantis or a Bill Lee or going, right here with your mandate. So, Pamela Waters, do I have any tips on growing carrots? Okay. First off, don't plant them now. No, real tips. Okay. You are going to need very soft soil. If you're trying to grow carrots in clay, forget it. It's not gonna help. All right. So what you're gonna need to do is dig yourself a good trench, preferably about 12 inches deep. All right. Fill that, if you can, with compost, just straight compost. That'll be soft and fluffy enough where the carrots can go through. Sprinkle all your carrots on the top of the compost. Don't have to sink them or anything like that. Just sprinkle them right on top. Run over them with your watering can, get them wet. Lay a board, 2x6, 2x8, something like that, or 1x6, 1x8, anything, a board over the top of those carrot seeds. Okay, cover them completely. Water over the board, everything like that. Get the board moist. Leave that board sit on there for somewhere between a week and 10 days. That will keep the soil underneath on the carrot seeds moist the whole time. It'll keep them from baking in the sun. After about a week, you can take that board off and you should see a whole lot of little green sprouting and everything like that. Don't worry about trying to thin them at this point. Let them grow up a little bit. And then as they get to be an inch, 2 inches high or whatever it is, you start getting, if you need to thin somewhere, then thin. But that is the way you're going to get good carrot seed germination. Hope that helps. Gray Sky Prep started watching Utopia, fun and scary. I'm assuming that's some sort of miniseries or something. Ryan Larson, thoughts on solar generators? Okay, I'm going to somewhat guess that you are relatively new here, but I will give you the answer. I did a review maybe about 3 months ago on the EcoFlow Delta 1300. Now, at the time, I was able to get the generator, I think it was for about $850. It is more powerful than the Jackery 1000 at less cost. It is less powerful than the Blue Eddy, but it's less than half the cost. The thing I liked best about the EcoFlow was you can charge it with AC power in an hour from 20% to 100%, where a Jackery or a Blue Eddy will take you about 8 hours. Now, the reason that is important, at least to me, yes, I have solar panels. I can charge them with solar panels. It's pretty standard how you're going to charge them with solar panels. But y'all know it ain't sunny every day. If it's cloudy, especially in the wintertime, you're not going to be able to charge with solar that well. So I can charge my EcoFlow in 1 hour off of my gasoline generator. I ran a test on the EcoFlow Delta. It would run my full size refrigerator in my house for 11 hours. So if you do the math, 1 hour's worth of gasoline now gets me 11 hours worth of charge in my refrigerator, as opposed to running my generator for 11 hours to keep my refrigerator going. That's what I say. So solar generators, don't only think of them as just solar. You know, it's not a generator really. It's basically just a huge battery. So how can you charge that battery? And it's multi-use. You can charge it off of AC current. You can charge it off of solar. You can charge it off your car battery. So yes, definitely something that if you have the financial wherewithal to get, have some. I've got 3 of them. I'd like to get more. But again, it's the financial wherewithal there too. So, yes, if you want my thoughts on solar generators, definitely a 95% must have prep. Patty Bob is in the house. Good evening, all. Greetings from Germany. Hope you all are keeping well. Breaking news: Dutch police opened fire last night on protesters, injuring 7 in the city of Rotterdam. Wunderbar. So, where else did I see? I saw there was another somewhere else in Europe too. There was, I think it was in Austria, matter of fact, that there was protests going on, and the cops started shooting at them. So, yeah. Ralph L., do I think Nasara will be dollar per dollar? Nasara is the biggest lie that is like the Energizer Bunny. It keeps going and going and going. Nasara and Jasara was a idea in the 1990s. It was never even brought into Congress for debate, let alone debated on, and absolutely was never signed into law. Okay. So all these conspiracy theory websites saying Nasara, Jasara, all this sort of crap, nothing has ever happened. That there is nothing. This was an idea that wasn't even presented on the floor of Congress. So do I think it'll be dollar for dollar? It could be dollar for pounds of feathers. I don't care. It's a fantasy. It's not true. Lake Lizard, times are what they are. Lowe's will offer whatever makes profit. And I don't blame them, okay? If they've got the seeds and they can sell them, sell them. If you have the ability to buy them and you don't already have all your seeds for next year, buy them, okay? Because, guys, not only are seeds good to have, they're also a good barter item. If shit goes to total hell over the winter, people are going to be running around going, where are my seeds? Where are my seeds? Why don't there any seeds? And you're going to go, I got some. I'll trade you a pack of seeds for a mason jar or whatever it would be. Okay. So, it's a good barter item. Planner Pete, thank you for the super chat. Commander Corvus Corax Nevermore. You get me every time with that. I got one step at a time. Do I think a divided nation is a possibility? Yes, I've said this, God, all year at least, if not going back into last year. I think it's more than a possibility. I think it's a probability. I mean, not that it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, but I'd say you're going to see it probably in the next couple of years. My bet is that the United States eventually splits up into 3 or 4 countries. The West Coast, the upper East Coast, and then the rest of the country. And whether or not the red states split into 2, I don't know. How you get things like New Mexico, Colorado, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois to fall, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I could see probably 3 to 4 different independent countries. For the simple reason is, and the Rittenhouse verdict yesterday just makes it even more obvious. Divorce is here, guys, okay? The 2 parties cannot agree on anything. And there is no common ground to find anymore. I mean, we've gone too far. You've got two generations of people plus a bunch of lunatics that are our age that are going, ooh, socialism. We want the government to control everybody. And then you've got the people who go, ooh, Constitution. We like our freedoms. And there is no middle ground. So, yeah, I think a divided nation is a possibility. Honestly, I mean, the most probable way it would happen would be with some sort of civil war. The most beneficial way it would happen is if the powers that be in Washington just drew up a plan and said, you know what, guys, it's just time to cut ties with each other and say we're done and do it diplomatically. I'm just saying that's what I think. There's going to be a million people that disagree with me or have other ideas, but that's what this guy thinks. Ryan Larson, what non-food items do you stock most or feel would be good to stash? Sue, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Non-food items to stock most or feel good. Okay, I mean, I can give you a whole ton of them. First off, anything and everything you could possibly need medical. All right. And when I was at the store today, what did I buy? I got a couple more things of Neosporin just because they were on sale. It's like, all right, anytime I go, I'm going to go through the first aid aisle or wherever it would be, and I'm going to look and, hey, okay, this is on sale. Let's get a couple more. But bandages and gauze and Neosporin and iodine and toothpaste and deodorant. And anything for medical or hygiene needs, absolutely. Those are probably the most important ones that I'd say to stock. I know a lot of people say ammo. I'm going to say, yeah, ammo is a good one too, but medical and hygiene are the most important non-food items to stock. Because if there is no doctor and you slip and fall, you get poison ivy like I do. You cut your arm or something like that. You're going to need to be able to fix it. Okay. And if you can keep infections away or whatever, that's going to be important. But I'd say that would be the most important. Ammunition would certainly be up there. Clothing, underwear, definitely socks. Buy all the freaking socks you can get. I don't care if you got dozens of pairs of socks. There's nothing that is more important on your body to take care of than your feet. As many socks as you can. If you can afford to buy a couple extra pair of shoes, get them, preferably boots if you can. And get good boots. That's why I say affordable. You're going to spend a couple of $100s on good pairs of boots. But yeah, think of your basic necessities: food, shelter, water. Okay, food and water you kind of eliminated. Shelter somehow you've already hopefully got taken care of. So now you've got to think of what's going to be next. Medical, security. Those are going to be your important things. Sheila Lamoth, husband is 42 and looking for a safe place to put 401k. Well, I'd love to answer the question, Sheila, but there's way too many variables in there. I don't know what your income is. I don't know what your lifestyle is. I don't know what the investment options are in his 401k. There's a million and one things. Again, remember how 401k works. Company picks, a dozen or so different mutual funds that you can invest in. You got risk return, and it works like this, all right? The lowest risk is going to have the lowest return. The highest potential return is going to have the highest risk, okay? Where do you want to fall? If he's looking for a low risk, that's going to be a low return. At that point, you're looking the lowest risk, lowest return is going to be money market, basically cash. It's not going to pay you squat, but you're not going to lose anything to it except for inflation, which of course is what we're all dealing with now. I mean, what is it? A dollar in 19, or I'm sorry, a dollar in 2000 it has a spending power of 63 cents today. So you've lost 37% in the last 21 years if you just stayed in cash, minus whatever interest, but that's beside the point. Now, if the company matches him, there's the other thing. If, let's say, I mean, one of the companies I worked for had dollar for dollar match up to 6%, okay, which I thought was extremely generous. At that point, sit in cash. Who cares? If you put in $100 and the company gives you $100, you've got 100% return. All right. So if you lose 6% to inflation, fine, you still have a 94% return by taking no risk. That's, there's a lot of variables, but I'm just saying lowest risk is going to give you the lowest return. Just be aware of that. Sea Line, what's the buzzing? It is, I mean, my email is automatically to my phone, and that's when a buzz, that's an email coming in. Somebody's made a contribution to the food drive showing that I got an email that PayPal or Cash App is said there. So, yeah, that's all the buzzing is. It's not, CIA is not watching us or something. I'm seeing the little notifications come across the top of the phone because that's what I use as my camera. So my phone is here up top. My laptop is below me. Vinny Brady, I have a problem with wood lice, pill bugs, and roly-polies. Any advice? I'm assuming you're talking about in your garden, and that is going to be a soil issue. The best thing I would say is, and you guys have heard me talk about it before, get Jerry Baker's book called Terrific Tonics. Okay. It's homemade recipes, if you will, of ways to kill bugs, kill fungus, fertilize plants, whatever would be. People, you can find the book online for a couple of bucks, used bookstores or anything like that. I'd say look up there, and then you can look up specifically on pill bugs or anything like that. Somebody just popped the super chat in there, and I missed who it was. I want to say it was Ryan. Thank you. Whoever just did a couple of minutes ago, it flew by on my screen, so I apologize, but thank you very much for it. I did see it. I just didn't catch the name fast enough. And of course now, there we go. All right. Next question. Mama Preps 4, Social Security should be voluntary. See, I've agreed with this, and again, this is going to go back to me being a broker, is not being a long time ago, 20 years ago, being a broker. But I've always thought that Social Security should be privatized. It should be like your 401k, like your IRA, whatever it would be. You should be able to make the choices, of what is there. If the government's going to withhold Social Security, and I understand the reason why it was created. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's outdated. And obviously a complete failure ever since the 70s when they moved it all to the general fund. But if they're going to withhold Social Security, I think it should be a self-directed way of what you're doing with it. If you want to just leave it in cash, like I just explained, if you want to invest it in the market, if you want to buy gold and silver, that's my personal belief. Okay. Flintstone Girl, thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate that. Tom Sawyer, that's assuming no one on food stamps ever had a job. No, I'm not saying that's not what I was saying at all. I'm saying there is no, when you have deductions made from your paycheck, okay, your deductions are federal income tax, state income tax, if it's there, Medicare, and Social Security. All right, there is no, you're not paying into a food stamp fund or something like that. No. Mary Rogers, hello. 20-ounce Maxwell House coffee on sale today at Dollar General. So afraid I'm going to have to do without it in the near future. I bought 6. I've got a boatload of coffee in my storage too. Don't get me wrong. Because, yeah, I mean, Mrs. P and one of my daughters here, she knows too. You do not talk to Dad until he's had his shower and had a cup of coffee. Other than that, don't say a word. Suede Breeze, Snazzy Hat. Yes, this is Saturday night on YouTube is hat night. Okay, there's a lot of channels, it's hat night. And so I was like, this is my favorite hat. So I've been wearing this forever. Deborah Miller, have I heard to have prepping done by Thanksgiving? No. And I kind of think that's kind of interesting because there is no such thing as prepping's done. I've said a million times, this is a journey, not a destination. There is anybody that's ever said, "Oh, thank God, finally I've got everything I need," is a fool, right? You can always have one more can of tuna fish, okay? You can always have one more log cut, whatever it would be, all right? You're never going to go, damn, you know what? I wish I didn't cut so much firewood, in an SHTF event. Gee, I wish I didn't have so much food. It said nobody ever. Lisa Brazy, did I see Canadian Prepper about the flooding? No, I have seen the story that the flooding going on over in the Vancouver area and that it kind of shut everybody down. But I haven't seen anything from Canadian Prepper on it at all. Like I said, I was out of pocket all afternoon here with neighbors kind of celebrating a little bit because we won't get to see each other for the holidays. Jordan Paul, we are hiring the worst people ever. No accountability, no expectations coming from corporate. There was, I forget where it was. Somebody sent me the greatest meme a week or so ago. And it was, a guy interviewing for a fast food job. And he goes, "Yup, okay, you're breathing. You have a pulse. Congratulations, you're hired." That's the shortened version of it. But that's about it. Companies are so desperate for a warm body in a position that they'll do it. Now that may work for, flipping burgers at McDonald's or stocking shelves in a store, but please don't tell me that you're just going to put warm bodies in the emergency room. Or warm bodies are the guys that are going to fix the power lines when the electricity goes out. Sorry, there are plenty of jobs out there that require people to have skills. Do not put a warm body in the seat of an 18-wheeler. Thank you very much. I'd like somebody who knows how to drive a damn truck. You ever seen a car accident between a truck and a car? The cars don't fare well. I don't care if you're driving big pickup truck. You still don't fare well against an 18-wheeler. Okay, 2 people said the rocket stoves in search of. Lynn Ray said the rocket stoves in search of, said she was referring to the rocket stoves. I'm sorry, guys, because I'm behind, I can't, I don't know what we talked about before there. My apologies. Kimberly Rutherford says, share that recipe, please. And I saw somebody above, April Armio said, I love green bean casserole. Basically, it's green beans and cream of mushroom soup and put some French fried onions over the top, throw it in the oven. Brandy, thank you for the super chat. Like you said, soon firearm issues are coming. Yeah, that was the whole thing with this in the first place. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse was the scapegoat. They figured, oh gee, some 17-year-old, they're not going to do, he's not going to do squat. We can use him as a sacrificial lamb. But that was a trial against the Second Amendment. And now that the jury said, nope, kid was within his rights, the human Goodyear blimp, Jerry Nadler, has said, "Oh, now we're going to have the Department of Justice look into it." I hate to tell you, Jerry, but there's go look up the definition of with prejudice. Okay, you can't try him again. All right, double jeopardy. Ever hear of it? If I remember correctly, I think you are a lawyer. I'm not, but they can look into it all they want. But yeah, the whole point of that case, and that's why they want the DOJ to look into it, they're going to do whatever they can somehow to try to take away uh, your Second Amendment rights. I mean, this is why I made the video today about all the propaganda, all the lies, trying to make this about race, everything like that, and the sheep just you know ingesting and spewing all the lies coming out of Joy Reid's mouth and anybody else, any one of these Hollywood liberal idiots, uh, you know, or AOC or Biden and Harris. I mean, both of them. There was nothing about race in that case. There was nothing about white supremacy, whatever it was. They're trying to frame the whole case into something that it wasn't anywhere close to. So, it'll never go anywhere. I just, the only thing that I hope we ever hear Kyle Rittenhouse's name again is when there's a news story that settled with CNN, settled with MSNBC, settled with Joe Biden. That's what I hope. That's the hope. Only time I ever hear his name again, when they just made the kid a multimillionaire. Kimberly, if you're asking about sharing my great grandmother's recipe, I don't know. Ryan Larson, best way to store ammo: dry, cool place in a box. That's fine. You put it in an ammo box. You can just I store it in the box in the sleeves they come in. Just stays in a nice, dry, cool place. No, doesn't worry about it. That's fine. Like anything else, it won't last forever. You're going to rotate your ammo, and you should, because you need to practice with your firearms. It's a skill that will come back to you quickly, but, I'll say this. Think about riding a bicycle. If you haven't ridden a bicycle in 30 years, you get on there, you're going to be a little bit wobbly. You're going to get back into it here relatively quickly. It's the same thing with firearms. You need to train with it. Okay. Lorna, pinball in the South, it's cornbread dressing. Well, in the Czech Republic, it's white bread dressing. So, and that's where this one comes from. But yes, I mean, I know it's, see what's in there. It is garlic, onion, celery, the livers, the gizzards, bread, eggs, salt, poultry seasoning. Trying to think of this off the top of my head, guys, so bear with me. It's not like I make it every day. I believe that's all the ingredients, but yes. Soul Reaper, what is my favorite pie? Cherry, without a doubt. And I'm making cherry pie for Thanksgiving. There is no better pie than cherry pie to me. Fran Moyer, don't forget the deviled eggs. It's only the two of us. So, making a bunch of deviled eggs, we don't have a whole trays of snacks and everything because it's just the two of us. So, I mean, that's about it. Cha-cha, I need a good stuffing recipe. Give it up. I don't know. Maybe I'll show you when I make it. It's a mess. Carolyn L, you had this one I'll believe. You had no idea what I went through to find sage this year for stuffing. I believe it. Spices, when we were at the store today, I always look at the spice aisle. It's like, okay, is there something else I can get? And I was shocked at how little there was in the spice aisle. Just choices. I mean, there were, looking for a lot of this stuff. I mean, and I'm not talking about goofy ones. I mean, I'm talking about bay leaves or, like you said, sage or anything like that. I mean, yeah, salt, pepper, parsley, those ones, not that big of a deal that you want to find. But you need marjoram or you need poppy seeds or something like that. They ain't there. Uh, Hip ease. Nice play on words. Do you know where I can find info to find like minded people in Virginia to build a mag? The best thing I can say is to be active on the live stream like you are, in the chats, in the comments. Get your name out there and let people know what you're doing, and do it on, multiple channels, all the channels you watch. Once people know your name, I mean, there's a bunch of names that are in the chats that I know. I mean, obviously I know all my mods, but Lorna's in here all the time. Voodoo Queen's in here all the time. The Rooster's in here all the time. I mean, there's a bunch of them, that you get to know. And as people get to know your name and see you, and you're gonna start finding them that way. So, if you're active and letting people know, hey, I'm in Virginia, I'm looking to put this is, where, I don't know where, Roanoke, or wherever you're trying to put it together, by doing it that way, then you can connect with these people. Now, what I would not advise doing is putting your emails up there. But if you're talking to somebody and in here, unless somebody answers in the next 10 minutes and says, hey, I'm in Virginia too, I'd love to get in touch with hippies, send me an email. If I get emails from both of you guys, hey, share my email with this person, I'm more than happy to. I'm perfectly willing to facilitate that for you guys. Not a problem whatsoever. JN, thank you for the live stream. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. Checks to mix one. Do I brine my turkey? No. It is straight butter basted turkey. That is it. In search of, does Mrs. P like the Thanksgiving meal in general? Yes, very much so. She loves turkey, loves the stuffing, everything of the sort. She's not a big cranberry fan, but that's it. I mean, but I make gravy too. So there you go. Amy Bag of Donuts. Nice. Your thoughts on Operation Dark Winter and the vials of smallpox connection? Yeah, kind of interesting that Biden says prepare for a dark winter, and then all of a sudden we find these things in Philadelphia where they're not supposed to be. Yeah, if you have, what was the figures I heard the regular smallpox was, I think, at about a 30% mortality rate, and weaponized smallpox was like 40%. And the other piece of news I heard was, if you were born, I think it was after 1971 or 1972, you weren't vaccinated for smallpox because the disease had supposedly been eradicated. So now we got to, I mean, the thing is this, we've got to figure out what was found in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. Was it Philly or Pennsylvania? I don't remember. I think it was in Philly. Yes, I know Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. I should remember if it was somewhere else in the state. Hopefully this isn't some hoax where somebody thought, hey, this will be fun. Let me take a vial of, I don't know, insulin, and let's write on there smallpox instead and see what somebody says. Because how the hell was this found while some guy was cleaning out the refrigerator or cleaning out the freezer? There's only 2 places in the world that are supposed to be holding smallpox, one in the United States and one in Russia. Why it's in some refrigerator in Pennsylvania, nobody knows. I'm hoping this doesn't turn out to be some, I'm hoping it does turn out to be some terrible hoax, and then I'm hoping they figure out who did the hoax and hang him from the nearest oak tree, personally. But yeah, smallpox would be crazy. Brandy, thank you for the super chat again. And monkeypox in Maryland, yes, that's another one to pay attention to. Ugh. Don't you love the earth, guys? Isn't this fun? Debbie Minton, can you use a Mr. Buddy heater under the house if the pipes freeze? That one I would suggest probably asking a plumber. And again, I don't know the layout of your house. I mean, I'm taking a guess. It's kind of like mine with the crawl space, but that I don't know. I would ask a professional on that one. Dove J, we make sweet potato pie and chocolate chess pie. That sounds good. Uh, Gina M, I'd love to have the recipe for my stuffing. All right, guys, maybe I'll put it up on the community board or whatever it is here, and y'all can take a look at it there. Uh, North Shore, she got food. Okay, yes, Ola finally ate. Good. All right. See, that tells you how far behind I am. I asked that 15 minutes ago. Holy crap, it's after 10 o'clock already? The first time I looked down, it's like, all right, crap. Well, you know what? All right, I'm going to go for a little bit because usually I'm like, all right, at about 20 till, I'm like, that'll be the first time I look at the clock. It's like, okay, we're going for over an hour. I'll go for another 15 minutes. Uh, Lisa Brazy, give me a shout out. Pinball, love you. Hi, Lisa. uh, Let a gay Magnuson, Pinball, what? No mashed potatoes? We got sweet potatoes already, and again, it's all right. South Colorado Center. What is the most videos you put up in a day? Did I break the record yesterday? Well, yeah, what did I put up yesterday? 5, I think it was. Just with everything going on, that's what it was. So, Emily Chavez, is the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade still on this year? I do not know. Haven't paid attention to it. It's not exactly one of the high topics on my must-read news list. Uh, Gray Sky Preps took my extra stuffing and dehydrated it so I could have it later. Okay, there's an interest. Never thought of that one. Romy Davis, I'll give you $10 for it. Guys, I will post it on the community board. Displaced Jersey Mike, thank you for the super chat. So let's see. Bill Gates just warned of a smallpox biological attack. What do I make if vials were found? Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping it's a hoax. That's the best I can say. If it is, and if it is, then this facility, whatever it is, needs to be thoroughly investigated for what the hell it's doing there and how it got there. Yes, Robert Bates, like I said, noises you're hearing are emails on my end. Yes, and thank you for all those noises because, like I said, those are contributions for the food drive. So I appreciate that. Healthy disrespect for authority. What am I doing about blood drives right now? Right now, I'm not doing anything about blood drives. I will tell you something though about blood drives because there's one going on in my town here right now, and I looked this up the other day. If you've got the jab, this is according to the Red Cross, you are eligible to donate blood. Okay, just letting you know. However, you are also required to tell them which one you got. So I don't know why that is, but that was kind of interesting. Burnouts and Donuts, thank you for the super chat. CA, you can busting my chops about mashed potatoes. Okay, yes, not enough room on a plate. In search of, I used to always do the Adopt an Angel program every year. It gets, I mean, literally, when we were in the grocery store today, they had the Jennifer, thank you. Hang on a second. Jennifer, I will get to you in a second here. But when we're in the grocery store, they had the bags, the paper bags where you can donate to, $10 for adopt a pet or whatever, buy pet food or whatever it is. And then there's also the Christmas tree in there. And I look at it and I go, saw the bag. So, I mean, I'm going, literally, we could have just cleaned out the whole thing last year. So, all right, Jennifer, thank you for the super chat. Basec 59, thank you for the super chat. Why do some Walmarts have food shortages and others do not? My brother dismisses stockpiling because in rural Illinois, stores are full of food. Well, okay, now understand Walmart has a distribution center within 8 hours of every store it has in the United States. So it's not it's not a distribution issue. That's what made them successful in the first place. They can have anything to any store in a day. That's not the problem. What I think the problem is more than anything else, simple one, thank you for the super chat. What I think the problem is more than anything else for the reason is because of where stuff has to come from. Okay. And what the transportation is. Now, where he is in rural Illinois, I don't know. Is he on a train line that, somehow goes? If I want to get oranges, chances are they're coming from Florida. Okay. Well, I've got a lot better chance of getting oranges than, say, somebody in North Dakota does, because they're going to drop off however many oranges here. They're going to drop off 10 cases in Atlanta. Then they're going to drop off 10 cases in Chattanooga. Then they're going to drop off 10 cases in Knoxville. And by the time they get up to Bismarck, there aren't any oranges left. He may be in a place, being rural Illinois, still central. I'd be interested to find out what, there are things they're short on. There might not be things he's normally eating, If he's a meat and potatoes guy, well, great. You know what? Those are very common things to find in the Midwest. If he's looking for organic bok choy, maybe not. So, I think it is more of a what is available and how far it has to travel than the fact that there's nothing. I'm betting he's probably got a much better chance of getting, say, corn than I do. I remember last summer telling you guys I couldn't find beets for 4 months. Could not find canned beets for 4 months. Talked to my cousin who's up in Chicago. She's like, yeah, I looked at the grocery store, no problem finding beets. Couldn't get them here. No problem in Chicago. All right. Diana S. just donated $15 for the food drive. Hope it helps some needy people. Thank you. Cindy writes, trying to PayPal and it can't find your name. Okay, it's paypal.me/pinball preparedness. The link is down in the description of the video here. Okay, we're getting down to do a few more here. Ryan Larson, how much propane do you think is sufficient for generator power batteries and for cooking? That all depends on what you're doing. I've got a 500-gallon tank, and the only thing it's hooked up to in my house is the oven and the stove. We've used, when we bought the house, it was full. That was almost 3 years ago. And there's about 65% left, and you fill a propane tank to 80%. So, how much you're going to use? Well, I don't know. Do you have propane heat? You're talking about generating, power. Now, when you're talking about running a generator, yeah, you're going to use a lot more propane. How much you can get depends on how big of a tank you can get. I can't give you an answer. The more, the better. That's all I'm going to say. It's just going to last you longer. Francine Ryder, did I hear some Walmarts are going to close? No. If they are, I'm betting, again, it's going to be the older stores, the ones that didn't have the groceries in it. Because I think they've been slowly phasing those out over time. Because I think I told you guys this. We all know 26% of the groceries in the United States are sold by Walmart, right? The next largest grocery chain is Kroger that sells 10%. Okay. So if that gives you an idea of how important Walmart is to the food supply, there you go. Oh my God, it's TJ. Thank you for the super chat. Welcome to the prepping lifestyle. Welcome to the family. And it is a lifestyle. That is very true. Uh, let's see. Do a couple more here, and then we're going to call it a night because I don't want to run into Sean. Diane Pinball, do a live show of making your dinner, please. God. Yeah, want to see me trash a kitchen? We'll see. I don't know. Okay, we'll see what happens. Maybe I will be good entertainment for everybody on Thursday, huh? The problem is, it's like I'd have the camera in one spot, and then as I'm bouncing around the kitchen, who knows? But we'll see. I mean, maybe I can do some of it. All right, one more. Let's see what else is here, and I think I've almost got all the. Did I hit everything that I can see? Uh, all right, I guess this one's a good one. The Warbird. How did Mrs. P and I meet? I've answered this a couple of times, but for those of you guys who are new, Mrs. P and I met online. As silly as it was, I was in Salt Lake City at the time, and I was looking online. As most of you guys know, in the Army, I was a interrogator, and the language they taught me was Czech. Okay, and I haven't used it in forever. So I figured, okay, I was going to get online and see if I could find somebody who I could converse with, that I could practice my Czech and get my fluency back. Well, one thing led to another, and eventually I wound up seeing Mrs. P on a Russian dating service. And so I contacted her, and she contacted me, and we talked back and forth via Skype for about 6 months. And then in April of 2015, I flew to Moscow and spent 10 days out there. And by September of 2015, she was here in the States. And then we got married in November of 15. So, yes, we just had our 6-year anniversary here 10 days ago. So, all right, guys, that is an hour and 15 minutes. So, long one. North Shore, you going on tonight? I figure I'll get all the way to the bottom, see if he gives us the answer here. Yes, we did go to St. Petersburg, Russia, their healthy disrespect for authority. We were there. We took the bullet train up from Moscow to St. Petersburg, spent the day up there, stayed in a hotel, came back overnight on our trip. Yep, and North Shore is going on. Says you give him 10 minutes or so. So, guys, party continues up north of the border at North Shore Preparedness. Thank you all, guys. Again, if you want to donate for the food drive, please check the links out below. My PayPal or my Cash App work great. We will do that, and as soon as I can find out when I can donate it, then Mrs. P and I will go get the food, and you guys will get to see all that stuff. So, other than that, have a great Saturday evening. If I'm not too exhausted, I'll go over to North's for a while and see you guys there. Pinball out.